All right, 10 levels, 3 tiers. That's what it is. Wealth building. How do you go from credit card debt? I don't know. All the way up to being wealthy? I don't know. But I'm going to tell you the different steps that exist and the levels of wealth that exist out there that you could perhaps achieve. Most people are in tier 1. If you're watching this video, you're probably trying to hit tier 2 with the goal of hitting tier 3 at some point in your life. Income mobility is actually much higher than you think. If you put in the time and effort, you can reach tier 3. So I'd just like to go through levels 1 through 3 first. So I'm going to start you off in level 2. Most people start off on level 2 as kids. You're a dependent. Your parents are paying for everything that you do. You're probably bringing in zero money and they pay for you. Theoretically, you could be a dependent on welfare or Social Security or anything else. Family could be, that's level 2. Most people are in level 3. Whoa, what was that? What was that? Oh yes, okay. So I was getting a little boring and talk about these levels and stuff. Okay, but try to be a little less boring here. You get to level 3, basically you're on this treadmill where you just keep falling off the cliff and you can't get freaking ahead, and you're constantly living for the next paycheck, blah blah blah, and eventually you fall behind and you hit level 1. Level 1 is bankruptcy. You go bankrupt, and really it's the whole act of falling behind that is level 1. That's what I'm trying to say. Level 1 is even worse than dependency, and that's where a lot of people get. If you're falling behind, you're worse than when you were a kid when you didn't have debt. So that sucks if you're in that part. So anyways, I'm going to go back to the past version of me before I cut in. So those are that's the bottom tier of, that's like 90% of the population. So now we're getting into the top 10%. So this is tier 2. Tier 2, it's kind of hard to divide, but there's basically 3 things that differentiate each levels within this tier. I think the first one is credit card debt. I call that level 4. And if you cannot have credit card debt, you're going to be way ahead of everyone else. You can still have credit cards as long as you're paying them off at the end of each month, and you don't have any debt with that. No personal loans, no debt in terms of credit. Then you've achieved level 4. Tier 2, level 4. 5 and 6 is mortgage and student loans, whichever order, it doesn't matter. I don't know why it took me a minute. I had to go back and throw this little clip in there. So here's back to the original video where hopefully it starts at 7 so we don't have to waste any time. So the last part of tier 2, the second stage of life, is when you have all of those debts paid off and you are no longer paying credit cards, student loans, or mortgage. So this is by default is your wealth building stage, because you have more money coming in than is going out. Now this could be somewhat controversial, so some people may think of their house as an investment, and so maybe you're wealth building with a mortgage. A lot of people right now, that might be the case because they have locked in lower rates while inflation is high. But I would say level 7 is wealth building. That is the very top level of the second tier. So how do you hit the last tier, the top of the pyramid, the top, I don't know, 1% basically, top. So I don't look at it as a number. There's no number that'll get you there. The top tier is financial independence. It's where you don't ever have to work again. It's where you have built enough and accumulated enough that work. I'm at work, so I was interrupted. So obviously I'm not on tier 3. So what was I saying? Tier 3 is basically living frugally. So it has nothing to do with a dollar amount. It has to do with being able to never come to work and never come back to this place. Yes, I'm at work right now, but I'm also having fun at work making these stupid videos, but educational videos. I'm gonna edit that part. Educational videos. So tier 3, level 8, you're able to get by frugally without spending that much. You're living like a poor person, basically, what you consider poor. You have enough money that you don't have to work, but you still have to really be conscious about the money that you're spending, because if something were to happen with the market, you could be screwed. If you can't really go on vacation, you're not going out to eat, you're not doing the things that you want to do to have a good life. So that'd be level 9. Level 9 is basically living a lifestyle that you would consider okay. That is, you're able to do what you want, but there's limitations, right? You can't just go out and buy a boat. You can't go to Europe for the weekend because you want some good pizza in Rome or something. But you're able to live like a decent lifestyle, and you don't really have to worry about money as much. So it's like this middle area. Level 10 is a place where most people never get to, and the people who do get to it often will end up going back to level 1. I'm talking about like people who play basketball, people who billionaires, will go bankrupt, people who are just throwing money, like going crazy. But the idea with level 10 is that you really can go crazy, and you can spend as much money as you want, and you never have to really worry about it. The money is just always replenishes itself. So that's tier 3, level 10. It's the God level. That's the very tip of the pyramid, the very 0.1% of people that get to be like that. I think if you can hit level 8, which is where I would like to get to very soon, to just be able to know, to be at work and to know, you know what, I don't have to be here if I don't want to. I can go home. I really don't need to work, or I can take many years off and not care. But level 9 is actually my goal, would be to be able to live a nice lifestyle and also not have to work. So that video ended up being longer, but I'm going to perhaps shrink it in the edit.